All right, welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by the Rolla Athletic Booster Club. I'm your host, Tom Brown, and once again, we got Coach Derick Heflin.
How we doing?
Doing good, man. Coach, great day today, man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day in the Ozarks, like Coach Rob used to say. It's always a good day to be a Bulldog, and we had a good week last week. We had a good week this week. Hopefully, everything continues.
That's right. So, how was the team meal tonight? What
Hey,
we had?
delicious. We had like a chicken Alfredo. It was delicious. Phelps County Bank paid for it in full bloom. Got us the dessert, and then Sonic has always delivered the water, and it was delicious. Everybody definitely went home full, and it was nice. And I don't know what I'm gonna do on Thursdays after I get these nice meals, but it'll be all right.
Oh, I had you come over to the house or something. See what I got you to cook up, huh? All right, well, so, man, again, let's appreciate our sponsors. But holy cow, I mean, as great as that meal probably was today, how great was it to be eating out there on that Friday night with that big win at St. Mary's?
It was a lot of fun, and there was a level of energy we had and excitement, and it was a different atmosphere for sure. We were in downtown or South City, St. Louis. Which a lot of our kids have never played a football game there. That's the first time I'd ever played a football game in the city of St. Louis. We played at 6 o'clock. There wasn't a whole lot of atmosphere. Our sideline got up, got excited, and they kind of provided the atmosphere and the excitement. And then, the offense played the best game they played all year, and it was, a credit to the kids and their effort and their execution. And then the defense did what they needed, and made some stops and some pivotal moments. And there were a couple kids on that field for St. Mary's that. And they're sophomores and freshmen that you're going to turn on TVs on Saturdays and see them play. Their tailback was the best running back we've seen this year, and he's a sophomore. One of their linemen is a freshman that got offered by Nebraska last week. So there's definitely some talent on that field, and our guys went out there and competed and played a full 48 minutes, and they did it together. And that's the most important part. And yeah, it was a lot of fun when it was over to finally take a breath and sigh and realize, hey, we had done something. You knock off a team that 2 years ago was a state champ, back-to-back state champs. So it was a great win for our program, a great win for our kids, and hopefully we can build on that moving forward.
Yeah, we were able to watch the game online, watch it stream, and definitely, yeah, the atmosphere there was definitely more Bulldog cheers going on.
Yes.
Than I think there was for the home team of St. Mary's. But
Yeah.
you always kind of hate that, but also with the private schools, sometimes that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, I tell you what, watch them, and then the size difference. We talked about that beforehand. But they had some kids, well over 300 pounds on that line.
Oh yeah. I think the center was pushed. I think in the program he was 400 pounds.
He was a bowl ball, and
Yes.
we're watching that one. We're in the hotel room. We're watching. Got it up on the big TV, and we're just watching him get pushed back. And they're trying to make it. And our line just completely dominated that
Yeah.
line of scrimmage.
Those 5 guys up front, they took it upon themselves to just roll. And we got off the ball. If you look at us, we're about 230 across the board. All different sizes and shapes, but it's about 230 across there, maybe 240 on a couple kids. But we're small for a Class 5 offensive line, but our kids play with great effort and great technique. And we won the pad level, and we got off the ball and reestablished the line of scrimmage. And Easton and Emory had a great night. You have 2 kids go over 100 yards. We have over 400 yards of total offense. Terrell had a good night. We got him going a little bit. Delagarza ran the counters really well, and Jack early on had a couple huge plays. We got CP some touches. I thought after the game I probably could have got him a couple more, but that second half, it was easy to call plays because we was really just inside veer left, and then we hit it with a counter or something, come back the other way. But the offensive line, when you're dominating the line of scrimmage like that, it doesn't got to be hard. They're difficult to call plays. Just go at it until they stop it, and they still never found the answer. So we just kept rolling.
Yeah, you talk about the offense. So almost 400 yards of offense. You had, what was it, 284 of rushing.
Yeah.
So Hayden Emory, big night again, 120 yards rushing, 21 carries. And that was something early on we talked about because they run that kind of that spread. Now they'll pass it around. They'll run out of there, and they have the ability to be a high power offense.
Yeah.
And having that running game established allowed you to kind of control that. And then you throw Easton in there over 100 yards.
Yeah.
And over 100 yards passing.
Yes.
I mean,
he had a great night, and both of them, we had high expectations coming here, and in moments we'd seen it. But Friday night they put it all together for 4 quarters, and they've put a whole lot of hard work and effort into everything they've done. this year. And Friday night, it paid off dividends for sure. And like I said, the cool part about it is the game was winding down and it was back and forth. I didn't realize till Dave Roberts called me to do an interview the next day how many lead changes there were. Like I was like, Dave, I didn't realize it. I was so into the game that I just knew if I told our defense, I looked at Jack and I looked at Trutt and I said, get the ball back without letting them score, and the game's over. And when they went out there with about 6 minutes left and they got the stop, we made a couple. Jack had 2 real big plays. Trutt had a big play where he forced a kid throw out of bounds. There, we got the ball back about 4:45, and I knew when we got the ball back with the way our offensive line was playing that they weren't getting it back. And that we took the ball, bled the clock, and took a knee. We could have easily put another one in and didn't have to. And it was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I was, we're watching that, and it seemed that our line was so dominant, it didn't seem like we were behind that much.
Yeah, no.
And I think you're right, because I didn't realize it either until I saw the headline in the paper that 8 times.
Yes.
And because it just seemed like we were kind of in control. They would come back to make plays. We had the one where all of a sudden, I think we had the Easton's pull that he had, and we mentioned this beforehand. It was one of the better plays I'd seen.
Yeah.
It was a great read, and he just exploded and went, whatever he was, 50, 60 yards in for a touchdown. But I thought it was just a great read. Then we kind of had a turnover after that, and then you're like going, oh no, because then it was like, okay, then they scored, and then you're like, okay, now it started to get a little bit, but it still seemed that we were able to do things that we needed.
Yeah, no, it was one of those things where, like I said it, or like I said, I did the same thing. I saw the paper headline, I was like, really, that happened? And I was like, and then it really dawned on me. But it was one of those things where I think we had the confidence, and I know I had the confidence with the way we were executing and playing that, okay, even if we don't score this drive, we're going to score. They don't have an answer for what we're doing, and we can mix it up enough and keep them honest because they tried to make a few adjustments here and there, and then we came back with they tried to stop the inside veer and we came back with the trap, and then we can't do that, and then the inside veer became a play, and then the counter became a play, and like I said, we got the slots involved in different ways, we got the passing game involved in different ways, and and the thing I've told these guys from day one, and I learned it from Coach Hugh when I was at Salem and went and learned the triple option, was those 4-yard runs, and that was what Emory was. It was 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, turn into 40-yard runs because all of a sudden the defense sucks in, and that's what you saw when Easton pulled it. He was gone, and there was a lot of people, and I think a lot more people in green surprised that he ran away from everybody the way he did. But it was impressive, and it was a lot of fun, and it all goes back to those guys up front and the work and the effort they put in.
And that's just a great segue into it. So our big dogs of the week are the big dogs up front, man.
No, I'm excited. After it was over, we were talking. I was like, these are the guys I'm giving it to, and for me, it's cool because 20 years ago I was one of those guys, and with Coach Miles and Coach Stalkup's offense, it was 236, and it was 236, and it was 236, and then 245 every now and again. But it was on us, and I know the unit that they are and the strength that they have, and the time and the effort that they put into this, and those guys deserve it for sure.
Yes, that's great. So Easton Brown at left tackle, Real Sherrill at left guard, Nash Crouch at center, Peyton Fuller at the right guard, and Kylan Jameson at the right tackle. 400 yards of total offense, 2 100-yard rushers, and no sacks.
Yep, and a little over 100 yards passing. So is a good night for the Bulldogs.
Yep. Great job. Congratulations to the Big Dogs. Thanks for Brian Clark for sponsoring the Big Lots Big Dog of the Week. Appreciate that. So now we're heading into Friday night. We got St. Dominic's coming down. I mean, kind of a similar type story to St. Mary's, except they haven't had the big drop-off. So a couple years ago, they're in the state championship game. They lose to St. Mary's. They win the district before that. Big records. They went 10-1 last season. I was watching some of their film, man. The kid can sling it. He throws a nice ball. They got some good athletes. They got some good running game. They'll shake it up. Got a little counter coming out of that, the spread offense, giving that little read pass option right there.
They're going to mix it up, and it's a little more of a college pro style, with the zone game, and then the pin pull sweep stuff that kind of looks like counter, and then they'll mix in some RPOs, and their quarterback can sling it. So it's going to be on our guys to keep doing what they're doing all year. Last week, you look at it, you gave up 31 points, but the speed and the athleticism that was on that field and the size of that offensive line compared to our guys, we talk about it. We're not big, but we're tough and we play hard. And those guys run the ball, and that's what we expect them to do again tonight or tomorrow night, I guess. And I think that's the key for success to that. Just keep the ball in front of us, make them have to work, make them drive the ball down the field, and see what we can do there. And then it'll be one of those games where control the big plays and make them drive it. I think they're 4-2 on the year. They've played some good teams. They played some teams that I've had some experience with. Back from at Washington, because O'Fallon, where St. Dominic is, it was only about 30 minutes away. So, I'm familiar with them. They're very well coached. They're disciplined. But it'll look a little different than St. Mary's for sure. They won't have quite the, not to knock them at all, but St. Mary's had athletes like I don't think Raleigh's ever played against a team with that many athletes on the field. So it'll be a different speed of the game. And I think our kids answered the bell last week, and I expect them to answer the bell this week for sure.
Yeah, you talk about that. So their wins and losses have either been big wins or big losses.
Yes.
I mean, they've been shut out, beat by 40. They were beat by 30 or 40 when they put up 10, and then they had three big wins.
Very big one, yeah.
And then they had the last one was a real close
Back and forth game with Riverview Gardens. Riverview Gardens in the '90s, we're a powerhouse, and they've kind of fallen off. But it'll be a good competitive game. They struggled against Cape Central, who on that game field, Cape Central's got two backs that are unreal, and then Borgia, got them week 3. I know a lot of those kids, and so I understand. I can kind of gauge what the match will be, and it's just going to come down to us doing what we need to do, and us controlling line of scrimmage on both sides, and our guys making sure they're reading their keys, playing football and defense, and offensively just keep building off of what we've done. We played a really good first half against North County, and last week we played 4 quarters, so we just got to continue to keep playing 4 quarters.
I would just imagine with the locker room after the win Friday night, the confidence the kids have. Again, we need to talk about some of them real nervous going in there.
Oh yeah,
and we talked about that beforehand. Ethan was talking about that with some of his friends, that there was a little bit of nerves going up there, and just because again, all anew, things get said. You're hearing about things, and you couldn't tell it when they got on the field. Man, the kid just answered. They punched them right in the mouth. And when they got punched in the mouth, they didn't flinch. They went back at it again. And it's got to be just a lot of confidence built up there, and we're at home here Friday night.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's always good to be back at Lions Memorial Field, and it was one of those things where I think it was weird. It was just a weird atmosphere warming up, and then they ran out of the tunnel and kind of ran down our sideline, and our kids handled it very well. They just looked at it and were like, okay, all right, you that's how you're going to do this. Let's go play football. And our kids, to their credit, let their pads do the talking, and that to me is a big step and big growth, from where we've come, because that's been my thing. I yell and scream at them all the time, and the biggest thing is, guys, you play, let your play do your talking for you. You don't got to talk. If you're doing things the right way, the scoreboard will tell the story, and they did that Friday night.
And that was great win, Coach. Really happy for that. So before we go, I just want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors. You kind of talked about some of them already. We already had
we had 2 big ones right there.
2 big ones right there. That was great to have them on the sponsorship. Phelps County Bank, of course, is one that's always seems to be there for about everything going on here in Rolla and Phelps County. So again, big shout out to Phelps County Bank, 100% employee owned. Go to mypcb.com. Bankers by day, Bulldog fans by night. I love that. And of course, man,
Dan Carr.
not just a good neighbor. What you say? He's a great neighbor.
There you go.
And part of that state's best chain gang. Gotta love that as well. So big shout out to Dan Collier being on there. Kobe Wands, 2-time All-State Bulldog. Wands Skills Academy does a great job with all of that. Big Lots coming on with a big dog sponsor. Appreciate Brian Clark. And Angie Reese, MVP Apparel. Great job. Got the sports some of the swag here, provides gear to all the Bulldogs fans and parents, families, so appreciate all of them. So one final question. Okay, what's your go-to, which I'm pretty much sure I know the answer to, I'm looking down there right now. Cargo shorts, just basic old athletic shorts, or are you going with the Lululemon Fabletics style?
I don't know what that last thing you said is. I'm assuming that's the short shorts that I see the kids wear every day, and they make fun of me because my shorts go past my knees, and I said, this is what shorts are supposed to look like.
And one.
Yeah, no, and that's what, I grew up, the and one. Like, if you could see your knee when I was in high school, you got made fun of. Now they make fun of me, and I'm just saying, like, listen, if I'd have walked into high school like that 20 years ago, I'd have had to fight my way out. So it's definitely the athletic shorts, and it's the I get called Adam Sandler a lot. And it is what it is. You know,
Got the hoodie to go with
yeah,
it.
it is what it is. It's, I guess I'm getting old and style. I haven't changed in 20 years. Still, and a lot of clothes are still the same clothes I had 20 years ago. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm not. I don't know what that Lulu thing is, and I'm not about to find out.
That's probably the best choice on that one. I go with you on that one. All right. So, Coach, good luck tomorrow night. 7 p.m. start time. Come on out here, Lions Memorial Field. Cheer on the Bulldogs. Take on the 4-2 St. Dominic Crusaders. For Coach Derick Heflin, I'm Tom Brown. And from inside the huddle with the heart of the game, we'll see you next time.